Right, so to get started, we're in the main.dat. We're going to clear everything going down here. So we clear that. Then we're going to make a new folder called screens. Then in this folder, we're going to have the home screen .dat. Then this is going to be a stateless widget. Then we just simply say home screen. So here we're going to return a simple scaffold, which is going to be blank for now. Then we go back to the main.dat, then just return it right here. Simply say home screen. Then we just have to import it right there. Then we refresh this. So there we have a blank screen. Then we can just remove this debug banner. So we simply say debug banner check, then simply say false since it's expecting a boolean value. Then we refresh that again. So this is actually going to be an MVVM approach to building this simple food application. So we're going to have the models, the views, of which is the screens in our case, the views, then the view model, which is going to be the providers. These are going to handle the state management for adding things to the cart and displaying the values and the length of products inside the cart. So this is what we're going to do. And then we're going to have the models for the data structure. So with all that said, let's make the folder structure. So firstly, we're going to have the models. So this is going to hold the data structures. Then next, we're going to have providers. These are the view models, so providers. Then next, we're going to have the widgets. So these are going to be reusable components that we're going to reuse in our application, such as the top bar, what's going to be in the top bar. Then we're going to have a folder called constants. These are going to be values for colors that we're going to reuse throughout our application, so to keep it uniform and not to keep repeating it. So inside the models, we're firstly going to have the product model. So we simply call it product.dat. So it's simply going to be a class. We name it product. So firstly, it's going to have properties. So properties. Then we're going to have a constructor. Then we're going to deserialize it. Serialize it. Then we're going to map it to a JSON, the object that we're going to deserialize here. We're going to deserialize from JSON to a dot object, and then from a dot object, we're going to map that dot object to a JSON. Simply say to JSON, then here from JSON. Then lastly, we're not actually going to fetch this data from a database. We're just going to have a simple JSON, a simple list with products here, and it's going to have objects, a list of objects, and I'll show you that in a bit. So this is the plan that we have for our product. But before we do that, let's go back here on the constants and have our colors. So we're simply going to call it up colors.dat. Then it's also going to be a class, and then we simply call it up colors. Then here we're going to have the BG color, then the foreground color. This is just going to be, well, we're just going to use it for the banner. And then lastly, we're going to have the buttons color. Okay, so this is what we have. I already have these colors, and I'm just going to simply put them in this project. So these are the colors that we have. So then we can simply just go to the home screen. Let me show you how we can use these colors. Then here we just give this a different background color. So forget that. Sorry, that was Copilot doing its thing. So we can say background color. Then we can simply say up colors. So we're simply getting this from this class name. So up colors dot. Then let's import this first because it's simply just going to give us errors. So up colors, then dot, we give it the background color. Then let's see what we have. We're going to see the color change here. Okay, so it's changed. You can't see it because it's similar to the background color that was there. Okay, so we have established the colors. So next thing is we're going to have a body inside here for the scaffold. So body, of which is just simply going to retain a single child scroll view. Child scroll view. Then inside here, we're going to have a column. Column is going to have children. So this is actually going to be a child of this. So simply say child. Okay, so that error is gone. Then let's format this. Okay, so the first child is going to be the top bar. So to do that, we have to keep this as simple as possible and as easy to refactor as possible. So we simply go to the widgets. So inside the widgets folder, we're going to have a widget called top bar dot. Okay, so let me name it top bar widget, top bar widget dot. Then this is going to be a stateless widget. So simply say stls. Yes, stateless widget. Then simply name it top bar widget. So inside here, we're going to have a row. Okay, so we're simply just going to return a row. Then this row is going to have children. Okay, so let's format this, like give it a semicolon. Okay, so in here, we're firstly going to have a top, an icon, of which is an icon for the location. Then we're going to have the location text. Okay, then on the other row, we're going to have two rows inside this row. So in the other row, we're going to have the favorite icon. Then on the other row, or the other icon is going to be a bell for the notification. So with these, I'm going to install a package called Lucid Icons. So you can actually go to the pub.dev to actually install that. I'm sorry about that. This is Copilot doing its thing. Okay, so while we are at the installation of this, we can install the packages that we need. So we're going to install the Lucid Icons, then Google Fonts, and then lastly, a provider for the state management. Okay, so all you have to do is just press enter. I already have these packages installed in my project, as you can see here. So with that, you can just run this command, then you're going to have all the dependencies in your project. So you can go back here. So here we're going to have another row inside this row. Then we simply say children. So inside these children, the first icon we're going to have is the map pin. So we say icon. So this is how you use Lucid Icons. Icon. Okay, I will just turn off Copilot. So we simply say icon, then we say Lucid Icons dot, then we simply say map in. Okay, then this is going to give an error, so you just simply import this. So as you can see, it's been imported up there. So in Windows, we just simply click on Control and space to get that drop down. So the next thing is we're going to give it a color. So the color is going to be gray. Simply say colors.gray. then we give it a shade of 700. Then we can give it a size of 30. So here we say size property of 30. Okay. Then here, so this is our first icon. So this is going to be in the top bar. So we can simply go to the home screen here, and then just simply import the top bar widget. Top bar widget. Then let's refresh that to see what we have. All right, so we have the location pin there on top. So we just simply have to give it some spacings. So say sized box. Okay, sized box. Then we give it a height of 40. And just refresh that. All right, so this is where we want it to be. So let's go back to the top bar. Okay, so inside the first row, we're going to have the location text. So just simply copy this. This blueprint is supposed to be here. Okay, we can give it a text. So I'm just going to hard code this because we're basically not fetching anything from the database. So we're just here for the design. So we can simply say New York as it is suggested. Okay. Then, all right. So next we just give it some space between the two icons. So let's refresh that. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Then the next thing is we're just going to copy these two and have another row. So simply say a row. Sorry about that. Simply say a row. And children, then we paste this in here and just format this a little bit. Then for the sake of this video, we can just copy this and just paste it here. Since we're going to have the same the icons from the same package, then you can have the same spacings between these two as well. So here, the first one is going to be the heart. Okay, for the favorites, then the bell for the notification. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. All right, so we have those that so far. Then the next thing is we're going to have a main axis alignment, which is just going to simply be space between. Okay, then so that we have space between these two rows. Okay, so far so good. So then we can just wrap this inside a padding. So we're going to have to give it spacings on both edges. So that's the horizontal axis. So I'm going to simply say symmetric. Then we come in here and say horizontal. Then we give it 16. All right. So let's see what we have. All right, so far so good. We have that. And then the next thing is the search input. So let's go back to the home screen. Then down here, we can give it the search input bar. Then let's go back here. Then we can still go back to the widgets. So here we're simply just going to call it search input dot, which is going to be a stateless widget. Okay, so we'll simply say a search input. So this is going to actually have a container. So we say container. Then we can give it a height, the height of 50. Then we give it a decoration. So we simply say decoration. Then we say box decoration. Okay, let me remove one of these, giving an error. Okay, so here we can go back to the home screen and simply just import this so that whenever we make changes, we can see them there. So say search input and this. Then we just simply have to import it. Okay, search import, and we just import it. All right, so we have it there. So let's go back to the search input. Then here we can give it a color. So we give it a color of white. Simply say colors dot white. Don't mind the code suggestion down here. This is Copilot doing its thing. Then we can give it the border radius as well as the box shadow. So we'll say border radius, then border radius dot circular. Then this is actually going to be 30, so we want it to be a bit of rounded at the end, at the edge, both edges, in the horizontal axis. Then the next thing is we're going to have the box shadow for the shadow. So say, let me give it this, let's say box shadow. Okay, then the thing is, the first color we're going to have is the first thing we're going to have is the color. Let's say okay, we say the colors dot black, which is going to be 12, which is a lightish black. Then we're going to give it a blur radius of 4. Okay, then the next thing is we're going to have the offset. So offset, then say offset, then we give it 0.2. All right, so far so good. This is what we have so far. So as we had noticed, the design from our main app, that so we had this. So we have an icon, then we have the text. This is the search input, the hint. Then we have this small container right here. Then we have a microphone at the end. So this is the part that we were at. So let's go back. So firstly, we're going to have a row inside here, and it's going to have children. So let's say children. Okay, then in here, so the first child is going to be the search icon. So we're going to have the search icon, of which is still using this Lucid package that we have in our app. Then we're going to give it a color. Simply say colors dot gray. Then next we're going to have a text field, of which is going to be inside an expanded. So it's expanded. Then the child is going to be a text field. Okay, let's format it. All right, so it's going to have a decoration. Then we say input decoration. And firstly, we have a hint. So we say hint text, of which is simply just going to say search. Then next, we're going to have the hint text style. So hint, so that we style this text that we have here as that's the hint. Then we simply say text style. Okay. Then we just simply give it a color. Say color, colors.gray. Then we give it a shade of 600. Then we come out here. Then we say border. Then we give it a border, input border. Border dot none, so that it does no border. So far so good. Let's see what we have. All right, so this is what we have. It looks messy. All right, so let's go to the home screen. Then we give it the same size, some spacings between. So we simply bring it down here and refresh this. So all right, this is the spacings that we have. All right, so let's go back to the search input. So here, so far, what we have is we have these two, and then we have the container. So what we are remaining with is just these two. Okay, so let's go back. All right. The next thing is we just have to come out here and put a container. So simply say container. Then in here we give it a height of let's say 24. Then the width, since that is going to have a very small width, so we're going to give it a width of 1, which is very small. Let's go back here. So this is going to be the width. As you can see, it's very small. Then here, the next thing we're going to give it is the color. So we say color, then we say colors dot gray. And I know I regret I should have put these colors in the constants. I'm going back on my words here. Then we give it a margin. So margin, then we say edge insets of which is symmetric. Then we give it, say, horizontal. Then we give it 12. Okay, give it a margin. Then we can come out here. Then here, last thing that we have to do is an icon. I couldn't find a suitable icon for the using Lucid, so I'm just going to simply use the Flutter icons. So the ones that the icons, not the Flutter icons, I mean the icons that come with material. Then say mic, then we give it a color. So here we're going to say colors dot gray. Then we have this error here. We give it some space. Give it a comma. Then let's see what we have. All right, so this is what we have so far. Then we can give it some space here between these two. So let's go here between the expanded and between the expanded inside, which has a text field inside, and the icon for the search. So we can give it a sized box. Then we give it width, and this is simply just going to be 10. All right, so let's refresh this. All right, so far so good. It looks closer to what we have currently. So we can just go back here. Then we can simply just come here and wrap this inside the padding. Okay, so we'll say padding, then obviously it's going to be symmetric again. Then we say horizontal, then we give it 16 again. Okay, then we just refresh this. All right, so that's what we have so far. Then we can come down here. On the row, we can wrap this inside the padding as well. So just say padding. Then again, it's going to be symmetric, and then 16 again. So we can just copy this for the sake of the video. Copy this. Then we just paste it here. Then we remove one period. Then let's see what we have. All right, so yeah, this is more like it. This is what we have so far. Okay, so the next thing is we have to make this banner right here. So to do that, we can go inside our widgets folder. So let's go here, and we have to make the banner widget. Okay, so but before we do that, as you can see, we have these images. So these are local images that I have in on my computer right now. So I'm just going to copy these and put them in my app. So to do that, I'm going to come out here and create, sorry about that, create a new file called folder called assets. So these are the assets for our application that we're going to have. Okay, so assets, then let me close this. So I'm simply just going to come here. So I have these assets, I'm just going to copy them, then I'll just paste them in the assets folder, then just paste. All right, so once we have that, then we can go back to this folder, the pubspec.yaml. Then we can come here and just simply comment this. So here we're going to name it assets, then I put a forward slash so that it picks everything that's going to be inside our assets folder. So after that is done, we can just simply refresh this. Okay, so once this is done, we can our assets will be ready to use. Okay, so next thing is we come back to the home screen. Okay, come back to the home screen, then we give it a sized box for some spacings. So we come here and then we just reduce this to 20. Then here, this is where the banner is going to be actually. So we say banner, then we can come here in our widgets. So inside the widgets, we can create a file called banner.dot. Then it's also going to be a stateless widget. We'll simply call it banner. Okay, so here, simply just going to return container, the container, then we give it a height, say height of 190. Then we can give it the width, say double dot infinity, of which is going to fill up the size of the screen. And next we give it the decoration. So we say box decoration. It's going to be there. Then we give it the color. We simply say we get the color from the app colors as we had here. So it's actually banner, not discount color, banner colors. So here we simply say app colors, then we have to import this. So we simply say then we say discount colors here. Then we can go back to the home screen. Then here we can simply say banner, we import the banner. All right, so the banner is imported. I don't think so. Also, this seems like a keyword in here. So we can go back here and just rename this to banner widget to avoid that error. So widget. All right, so banner widget. Then we can come here and just replace this with widget. Okay, banner widget. Then we can come back to the banner. So in here, the next thing we're going to have is the border radius for the banner widget. So we say border radius, and we say border radius dot circular, then we give it 25. That's it. Okay, there's a typo here, circular. All right, so that's the banner that we have so far. This is the color of the banner. Then all right, so that's so far what we have. But then we need some spacings here at the edge, so we can give it a padding. Let's give it, okay, let's leave it at this. Then as okay. So we have that. All right, so we can go back inside the container. Then this is where the child is going to be. So we're going to have a row inside here. To say row, then it's going to have children. Okay, let me format this in here. So this is going to say child, and so the row is going to be the child of this container that we have here. Then nextly, we are going to have this column here for the discount, the weekend special, and the button. And then so this is the container, right? So we have a row. So these two are in a row, but this one is a column inside this row. And then we're going to have this burger image here. So let's go back. Then here we're going to have a column. This is the one leading. So it's a column. Then say children. And inside here, okay, children. Then the first child we're going to have is the discount. So we'll say text the children. All right, so we'll say Google Fonts. Google Fonts. So we had installed this Google Fonts in the package, as you had noticed earlier. So where is it? So we have a Google Fonts here. So we can go back here. So say Google Fonts, then we're just going to use the Inter, the font called Inter. Okay. So this is how you use Google Fonts. All right. So inside here, we're going to have the font size. Font size. Then it's going to be 25. Then the next thing is we're going to have the font weight. Font weight. So font weight is going to be 500. So say font weight 500. Okay. So I think we're done with this. So the next thing is the promo name, so which is weekend special. Okay, so let's go back here. Give it some space, some commas. All right. So we can just simply copy this, then put it here. And we say weekend special. Okay. Then we can just reduce this to 15. Then the font weight, we just give it 300. Okay. So far so good. So here we're going to give it a font, the sized box of 30. Give it this space that's between the button and these two. So say this sized box. Then we give it a height since we're in the column. Okay. Let's see what we have. All right, so this is what we have so far. Then next we're going to have the button. Okay. So this is where we're going to have a container. So we'll say, we can simply just say btn, then we'll say container. And inside here, inside the container, we're going to give it a height of 40. Okay. Then the width, we give it a width of 100. 100. All right, so don't mind this. This is the error that's coming because of Google Fonts. I've turned off my internet because the Copilot was giving issues. Right. So we can come down here. Then we say decoration. So that shouldn't give you cause so much alarm. So plus decoration. Then we can say BR for border radius. Then we say border radius, uh, radius. Then we say circular, circular. Then we give it 20. All right. Then we can give it a color of white. So colors.white. All right. Then we come out here. We can give it a child. The child is obviously just going to be text. So this is the text. The text is just going to say order now. Order now. Okay. So we're going to give it a style as well. Sorry about that. Style. Then we simply give it a text style. Then the first thing that we are going to have is the font weight. Font weight, then we give it a font weight of 500 like we did on the other ones. So font weight dot 500. Then lastly, we come out of the column. Then here we're going to have an image. Okay, so simply go to say image dot assets, since it's coming from our application local storage here from our local setup. So we say assets, then we can give it an image of fries dot png. Let me check it. So assets of fries dot it's actually jpg. Then we can refresh this, reload this actually, for us to see the changes. So we'll simply click here. All right, so this is what we have, which is not the image that we intended to get. So we simply say burger pic dot png. Okay, so see this. Okay, this is that Google font thing again. PNG. So let's reload this again. All right, so this is the right image that we have. So here, if you noticed, this is very far from what we have here. So this font is not as thick as it is right here. Even if we zoom out, it's not as thick as it is right here. So, and the other thing you'll notice is this image is not tilted a bit. So we have to tilt this image, then center this text, then at least give this text a bit of some font weight. So let's go back. So here, we can just simply center this. Google Fonts error again. I can simply just wrap this with the center. Okay. Okay, well, I've centered this. Then we can come here to this text. Okay, then we can special. Then we can just give it like 400 or 500 maybe. Then here, we simply just have to wrap this inside, so we can wrap with widget. Then we simply say transform, so that we tilt it. Okay, and let's format this. Okay, don't mind those errors, it's just taking time to respond. Then we say alignment. Then you can say alignment. Then we give it an alignment of center. So let's remove this dot center. Then we can give it a transform to get rid of this error. So say transform. Then we give it a matrix 4 dot rotation. Yeah, so this is going to be rotation Z. Okay, then we give it negative 0.50. Okay, Then we can just reload this and see what we have. All right, so this is what we have so far. So then we can go back to this row. Then here we can have the, let's firstly wrap this inside a padding. So give it the padding. So this is going to be symmetric. Okay, so it's a symmetric. Then it's going to be horizontal. Then horizontal, we're going to give it 16. Okay. Then in here, we're going to give it the main axis alignment of space between, so that we have space between these two elements in here. So say main axis alignment, let's say space between, and let's see what we have. All right, so this is what we have so far. Then we can come inside here, then just repeat this main axis alignment. Then we can also give it a cross axis alignment. Let's say cross axis alignment dot start. And let's do this. Okay, then let's go. I think we've done most of the things here. We just have to fix this this design here. So we just have to come here and put this as center. Okay, I hope this fixed this. Right, so that is fixed. Okay, so that is fixed. So far so good. Then the next thing is let's come here. We have to go on the trusted peaks, and the trusted peaks, and this is the trusted peaks. So this is a list view with the horizontal scroll. So let's go there. Then next we're going to have the recommended. I didn't screenshot that yet, so let's go there. But the recommended part is the list. It's just a list view with a vertical scroll. So this is that Google Fonts again. So to do that, we have to go to have that list. We have to go to the products. So here we're going to have the properties. Sorry. So the properties, these are the properties that are going to define these products. So there is going to be a name, the price, the ratings, and the image as well. So this is what we're going to use. So firstly, we're going to have the properties, so which is going to be final string. Then we're firstly going to have the ID, then final string. Then we're going to have the name. Then we're going to have the price, ratings, image, description, and then the category. So here, the next thing is we have to have a constructor. So we just, if you know about constructors, you simply call them the name of the parent class. So say here, and sorry, I accidentally turned on data. Then we're just simply going to require everything in here. So required this dot ID, then required this dot name. Okay, then we just have to do this for all the things. So for the sake of the video's length, let me just do it. All right, so everything is done in here, so we can just put a semicolon here. So we've required everything that we needed here. So the next thing is we just have to deserialize this these objects that have been created here. So we have to deserialize from JSON to a dot object. So we are just simply going to convert this JSON to a dot object that your app can easily understand and work with. So let me show you how we can do this. So we're simply just going to say factory. Then we use the object name, so product, not process, product. I simply return the product, so we say product. Okay, then it gives us, say, we just have to format this. Okay, so that is formatted, so we're just simply going to do this for all the fields in here. Then this one we're going to convert it to string, dot to string. Then we go on the name as well. Name, we give it this, then we say JSON. Okay, sorry about that, say JSON. So I'm going to do this for the rest of these, but for these, for the price, we have to convert it to double, since it's expecting a number. So it says on to say double. Okay, and we can just, let me just copy this, and here just replace this with rating. Then the image, this is just going to be a simple string, so JSON. Then the description as well, so let me just do this fast forward. So I've done this for the description and the category, because these might be empty. So now we have to map this. Okay, so we just have to map this to a JSON. So we have to map this product, the object, the product object, to JSON, so that is easier for us to transfer it between parts of the application. So this part is called serialization. So this is the process of converting a Dart object into a JSON so that it can be easily transferred between different parts of your app. So this is what we're going to do. Simply going to say map, then we say string and dynamic key value. Okay, then we say to JSON, then just do this. Then here we're going to have okay, sorry about that, this is going to be an arrow function. So here it's going to be ID, it's going to expect an ID from the properties. Then we say name, it's going to expect the name from the properties name. So I'm going to do this for everything in here. So I've done this for all the other properties of the product, these properties on top here. So the next thing is I'm going to have a list of objects that we're going to fetch as products, these on the home screen. So let me do that. So here we're simply just going to say list. Let me say static list. Then it's going to have a product. In here it's going to be called products. Let me say equals to an empty list, and we do this so that we have those errors gone. Okay, we say product objects. Okay, so in here we're simply going to say product. Okay, so it has that, so we just have to replace these values. Okay, formatting this so that it's easier for you guys to read. So here the first ID we're going to manually put, well, I think we're just basically going to manually put everything. So the name, we're simply just going to call it what's the name here, Okay, so burger. Then the price is just going to be $4.99. Then the rating is going to be 5.0. Then the image, we're actually going to get this from the assets. So we say assets forward slash say burger. We can actually get these from, we're getting these from the assets. So I don't know if you want to use these assets as well. You can find the link in the description. That's where you can get the entire code and the assets as well. So it's a burger pick dot png, and then the description where you just put that as that. In the category, just like that. Okay, then here we need a comma. Okay, so I'm going to have a list of these objects, so I'm not going to manually put them one by one. I already have a list of objects that I'd used in my previous project, so I'm just going to simply paste them in here. You can find them, and you can find the code in the description as well. So let's do that. Okay, so these are those products. So this is simple. I would call it mock DB. So if you have your own database, you can fetch your things from there. So this is what we have. So the next thing is we're going to make a product card, this product card, and then we're going to fetch it here in an horizontal list view. So we can come back here to the home screen. Let's go back to the home screen. Okay, so after the banner, we have the text. It will say picks. This is our daily picks. So we can, this is actually a row. It will say children. We can give it children, and inside there we can give it text. So we can have two text widgets. So the first one is just actually going to say you're trusted picks. Okay, give it a style. Then we say Google fonts. Let me just import the Google fonts. Then this one is going to be Roboto from Google. Roboto. Okay, and it seems like this didn't import. Just import it here. Okay, so that error is gone. Then here, we're going to give it a font size of 20. Then we also give it a color. The colors dot black. The next is the font weight. We give it a font weight. So the font weight is going to be it's going to be 400. Then we can just duplicate this, copy, and sorry about that, just copy it. We give it a comma. Then we just reduce the font size to 18. Then the color, we give it gray, then 800. Okay, then the font width, we just font weight, we just leave it the same. Right, so then we can come here and just give it a space between. So say main axis alignment, then main axis alignment, then we give it space between. Okay, right, so let's see what we have. And we can come down here and say products. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So here we can give it a font weight of 500. Then we just simply wrap this inside a padding. Then we say symmetric, then horizontal of 16.0. All right. All right. So, okay, that's just the Google font error thing coming back. All right. So this is what we have. Then we can give it the sized box here as well between the banner and the text so that we have a little bit of some spacing here. So now let's go back to the widgets. Now here we can make product card dot. So we're going to have a product card, which is also a stateless widget. Stateless widget, then we name it product card. So this product card, the first property we're going to have here is the simply just going to say final product. Then we're going to import this from for this product model that we made earlier. So we can just simply come here and just import this. Okay, product. Then we give it a name, product. Okay, so now we just have to import this. Okay, then we can come down here and just required this dot product. Okay, there we go. So in here, we're just simply going to return a container. So this is let me show you. This is this design that we're going to make here. Then we're just simply going to come to the home screen. Where's the home screen? Come to the home screen. Then just import it in here after this right here. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so product, then we're just simply going to have a container. Inside this container, we're going to expect these are the properties that we're going to expect. We're going to expect an image, the name, the price, the ratings. They're just these four. So let's go back here. All right, so the first child we're going to have the first property we're going to have in here is the color. So say colors with white. But we're going to have a lot of properties in here. So in turn, we're just going to use a decoration. Let me say box decoration. Then in here, we can just give it the color. Then next, we can give it the border radius. Okay, with the 10. Okay, then we can have the box shadow. Okay, let's skip the box shadow for now because these products don't have box shadow down there. So let's go back here. All right, so the child we're going to give it is a column. Okay, so child, it will say column. Then we say children. Okay. All right, so let me make a blueprint in here. All right, so the first thing we're going to have is the image, the name, the price, and the ratings. Okay, so for the image, we're going to use the clip rect that is going to have a child called image, which is going to fetch the image because these are local images that we have, like the way we fetch this image. So we're going to use the assets, image.assets. So here we're going to say clip rect. Then the child is going to be image.asset. Right. So this clip rect is going to have a border radius. So say PR. No, not brightness. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm in the image. So say. Sorry about this mess. Wow. All right. So we can say border radius. Then border radius. Okay. Dot vertical. Then you can come in here and say top. Okay. Then we say radius. Circular. Dot circular. Then we give it 5. Okay, then in here we're going to use this product to access the properties in here. Okay, so we're simply going to say product dot, and you see it's going to give us these properties from our products model. So here we're going to say image. Okay, but then we have to get this on the screen so that we can see what we're styling. So we're going to have these, which is going to be in an horizontal. We're going to have a horizontal scroll. Okay, so let's go back to the code. So inside the home screen, so I'm just going to copy this because I had to put it outside the column. So I'm just going to put this right here. All right. So this is where we're going to render that products section. All right. So let's do that. We can simply make this. Okay. We're going to have a sized box. So inside this sized box, we're going to have a list view that's going to fetch these products from our mockDB. Okay, so it's going to fetch these products, and then we're just going to simply list them in here, and this is where we're going to use them from. So here we're simply going to give it the height of 250. Okay, so this is the height to fit your product card. Then we're going to give it a child. The child is what is going to be a list view, the builder. Okay, the builder. Then you can just do this. Then in here we're going to give it parameters, which is going to be the context and the index. Okay, so say context and the index. All right, okay, let me remove one of these. But for us to access these, we have to know the item count. Okay, so item count. Then for us to do that, we have to make a product. Okay, we already have this product. Okay, the product. So we have to import this product object. So we have to make a product object. So simply say product. Okay, product. Then we call it products. Okay, have we imported this? Okay, so let me even just convert this to a stateful widget. Okay. All right. Okay, let's change up a few things. We have to do it differently. So we say final, then we say product. Then in here we say product, this product that we imported from the product model, dot. Then we're going to use this dot to access all the products. So come here. Okay, then we can go here. Sorry about that. We can say products dot. Then we say length to get the length of the products inside in this project, the products we have in this project. So yeah. Okay, what's wrong here? Oh, we have a typo here. So here we say products, then that error is gone. So the next thing is we're going to come inside here. Let me format this. All right, so inside here we're going to have a product. They will say products. Then we use the index in the parameters, so index. Then inside here we're simply just going to return the sized box. So inside the sized box we're going to give it a height, a width of 160. Then we're going to give it a child of the product card we're from making. So product card. Okay. All right, so product card. Then we give it a semicolon here. All right, so let me format this again so that it's easier to read. So this is going to expect a parameter. Okay, So in here, we're simply just going to say we're going to import this. So this again is going to expect the parameter. Okay, so it's going to expect an argument, I mean, not a parameter. Okay, so this argument, we're simply just going to replace it with this, say product. Okay, so that's what we have. Okay, so I bet we're done with this part. We just have to go and fix the product card. But before we do that, since we said this has to be in a horizontal scroll, so we have to give it this property. So we can come back here. Then we can say a scroll direction. Then scroll direction, then we give it axis horizontal. Axis horizontal. Then we can give it some padding as well. Okay, so we give it a padding of with edges symmetric and horizontal 16. So I think now we can try to check what we have. But okay, yeah, let's see what we have so far. So boom, there we go. So far so good. So we have these cards staggered together. So when you scroll, it's having a horizontal scroll, but it looks so bad right now. And as you can see, this one is overflowing from its container. So to do that, let's fix this. We're going to give it the padding here on the sized box. So we can simply wrap it with the padding, then okay, padding, and we say only. Then we give it the right. Okay, we're going to give it 12. So let's do this. All right, so as we can see, the cards are now separated. So we can just simply go back to the product card and continue styling it so that we have normal designs. As we can see, this image is actually bigger than the other images, so it's kind of overflowing from its container. Okay, so let's go back here. Inside the, can come inside the container that we have for our image. So here we can say we can give it the width. The width we can give it double dot infinity. Then we can also give it the fit. Here we say box fit. Dot we say contain. Okay. Okay, sorry for that. We say contain. All right, so the next properties that we're going to have are these. They're going to be inside another column. So simply cut this. Then I can simply say column, another column, and children. Then I paste them in here. All right, so this is helping us keep track of where we are in the project. So let's do that. We're going to fix this in a bit. So let's get going for now. So the next thing is the name. So we're simply going to have text. Okay. Then inside this text, we're going to say product dot name, just like that. Then we have to style this name a bit. So simply say style. Then text style. Text style. And inside this, we're going to give it a font weight. And we'll just say font weight. Okay, we give it a font weight of bold. Then the next thing is we're going to go on the price. All right, so price. Then it's also going to be a text. So we can just simply copy this. Proceed from here. So as you can see, we can go back here. The price is just a normal regular text. So here we forgot the thing. Then we can say price. Okay, so the price, we have to convert it. So let's do this. Then we just have to wrap it inside these braces. Then we have to put it in quotation marks. And in here, since we're using dollars, we're going to use dollar as the currency. So we give it a back slash, then we just convert it to string as fixed. Then we give it, okay, so then we give it to 2, okay, that's the decimal places. All right, let's see what we have. All right, so this is what we have so far. So we're going to fix these images later on because they're overflowing from their containers. So we're going to fix that in a bit. Okay. All right. Let me just fix it. So we can come here on the image and then just wrap it with an expanded. Then just refresh this. All right. So that's what we have. We can go down here. Then we can complete. So as you can see, it looks something like this, but nothing completely like it. Okay. So we're going to fix this in a bit. So we have these designs right here. We have to make them like this. So let's go back here. Okay. Now we have to have the ratings and the add to cart button. Okay. So let's go here. So this is actually going to be a row. So say a row. Then we give it children. Then inside here. So inside this row, we're going to have this row right here. The row that's going to have the star and the ratings. So let's do that. So in here, we're going to have, say, ratings and icons. Okay. So say row. Then we give it children. Okay. Then we're going to have the icon. So icons, icon. Then give it a child. No, not a child. Sorry. Say icons dot star. Then we give it a color. We say colors dot amber. Okay. And we just pick this with color. Okay. Then we can give it the size of 20. Okay. Then the other child of this row is going to be the ratings. So I'm just simply going to copy this, the price. Not really. Let me just get this. Okay. Then paste it right here so that the video doesn't take much time. Then product name dot rating. Okay. Then we say to string. Just convert it to string. Okay. Then I can just remove the styles for this one, I think. Okay, let me remove the font weight from board. Then I just give it the font size of 18. 18. All right, so let's just refresh this. All right, so this is what we have so far. Then the next thing is we're going to have outside this row, that's inside this row, we're going to have the add button. Okay, add button. So this is going to be a container. Then we're going to give it the width of 30, then the height of 30 as well. Then the next thing is we're going to give it a decoration. It will say box decoration over again. Then inside here, we can give it the color of black. Then we give it a border radius of circular 16. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to have the child here. So this child is going to be a font or some icon. So here we say icons, icon. we'll say icons, dot add, then we're going to give it a color of white. Okay, then we give it a size of 12. All right, so let's try to reload this and see what we have. All right, so this is what we have so far. Then we just have to separate these three. So we have to separate this from this row. Okay, so let's make this one a bit bigger. Let's make it 18. Okay. All right, so we simply come here and give it the main axis alignment of space between. Okay, so let's reload this and see the changes. Okay, so that's what we have. Then we can just style the entire thing now. So as you can see, these properties are different from these that we have here, the styling. So we have to move these to the start. As you can see there in the middle. So we can go back here and just simply give this column a cross axis alignment of start. All right, then let's see what we have. All right, then we can just wrap it inside the padding. So we give it some padding at the edges there. So padding. Okay, we just leave it as it is with edge insets of all. We just give it the padding on all sides. Then we do this. All right, so the only thing that we have remaining is the spacings, okay, of these elements. Okay, so we can give it some space between the name and the price. So we can come here and say sized box. Then we give it a height of, let's give it a 4. Okay, then we just put this here as well. All right, so let's see what we have. All right, so that is done. We are done with our trusted picks. Now we just have to give it some space between here. Okay, so let's go to the home screen. Between here, and just give it a sized box. We can just give it a size box with height of 20. Let's see what we have. Okay, let's reload this. All right, so we're done with this part. So the next part we have to deal with is the recommended. So this part right here. And I know I did screenshot it, so I have to redo that, but we can obviously do the bottom navigation bar. So let's